many. And we're going to keep it rolling, keep it going. Welcome to everybody coming in. How's it going? I see a couple of friendly faces, everybody in the chat, in the group chat here on Millions. I'm really excited because we have a couple awesome guests here today. We're going to talk to them about some of the merch that they're selling here on Millions, as well as all the other athletes that are selling all the merch on Millions, including myself. But we are going to dive into a couple amazing guests today. Hey to everybody, where is everybody tuning in from before I get going on this the stream talking about our guests coming in, coming down? Who wants to know? Who wants to know about the guests? Yes, we are back on the platform. I'm excited to be back in action, and especially this time getting to interview some amazing people. They all work in football, so I'm excited to talk a little bit of ball with them. I hope everything's going good with everybody else. I do have a watch party coming up on December 3rd. What up? We have more people coming in, rolling in. What up, Frank? How's it going? I have a watch party coming up on December 3rd. I'll be watching some football then, so I'm really excited about all that. So really excited to share that with you guys. And of course, we're going to get the streams going and rolling. And our first guest is coming in about 15 minutes from now. So if anybody has any questions or anything that they want to shoot before we get going with our guests. Hey, Frank, how you doing? Frank Williams. I'm doing really good, really good. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for tuning in. Hope that you're having a really good day there. Who are going to be our guests? Our first, I got to describe her. We've got a football player, a pro football player, and her name is Ambra Marcini. I'm really excited about that. Oh, sorry, Ambra Marcucci. Sorry, that's a name that I'm not too familiar with pronouncing because I'm from Canada. Thoughts on the NFL season so far? Oh my goodness. It's a mixed bag of nuts. I haven't been able to watch as much as I can. It's been great to watch the Seahawks, even though they're not blowing it out of the park all the time, as everybody says. So it's kind of hit and miss. Like I've been watching a lot of film like these days, not of NFL. So it's tough to say who's rolling this season. What's going on? What's the haps? All like the drama and all the conversations always just around Taylor Swift now. I feel like that's all the conversations about what's going on in the NFL and why people are watching. So what do you think? How's it going so far? And who is your team? Who is your team? Who is your team? So we got Ambra Marcucci coming up. She is a pro football player. I'm excited about this. She's a coach. She's also a PhD. So very athletic, very smart. I think she's in the Italian flag football league as well. Head coach at Weekend Morocco. Oh my goodness. What an amazing guest. I'm excited to talk to her and all the merch that she has on Millions. And she's coming in about 10 minutes now. Oh, for sure. Yes, of course. Thank you for that. Yeah, the NFL for sure needs me back. Do you have any questions about the NFL? I could probably answer them all for you. It's been tough to keep up with all the NFL. Like there's so many different games on and everything's happening. So I need to watch a few more games just to get familiar with what's going on. It's cool to see and work with certain people that go on to different teams because working with the Seahawks last year, a lot of those coaches went on to different teams. So it's awesome to see them at work, especially one of the coaches there who was the quarterback's coach. He's now the OC, which is the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. So that's awesome to see him do his work and do all that stuff. Crazy season. Bills fan. Bills. How are the Bills doing? Bills fan. What Thanksgiving game are you looking forward to the most? Ooh, I don't know because I didn't look up the schedule. You know what? I'll look up the schedule. They're 6-5 right now. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Because we are actually traveling. I'm actually in playoffs right now for the team I work for at CWU. So we're traveling tomorrow. It's really tough because we have really early practice and then we travel. What games are on tomorrow? Let me know. Keep me in the loop. What's going on with the games? And it will be an amazing Thanksgiving in America to remember. I'm excited for all the turkey. We're going to have almost like a Friendsgiving type of lunch, not dinner, but the whole team's getting together and having some food. Yeah, playoffs have been really good. We were facing a really tough team with Western Colorado and ended up, I mean, winning. So now we're on to the next round. So that's really exciting to keep that momentum rolling. And now we're going against Bemidji State. So we're heading to Bemidji. Yay! So that'll be fun. It's going to be quite cold, but I'm used to cold being from Canada. Yeah, so it's good to kind of get in there and do what I can and teach the guys all about what cold weather is all about and have some fun in the process. So playoffs have been really, really good and served our team really well. And we are on a roll. We are on a heater right now. So got to keep the momentum going, right? Niners versus Seahawks tomorrow. Oh, for sure. I didn't even know the Seahawks were playing. Thank you for reminding me because I will definitely tune in. Yep. In between all the food, football, and travel, I will tune into that for sure. Seahawks win. I'm gonna stamp it here right now, right here, right now that the Seahawks are going to be taking it and going to be winning. So let's say that. Let's just say that for now. Yay. It's at 8:20. Okay, cool. You know what? I will be there. You know it. You know it. I feel like you're looking it up right now, keeping me educated on what games. I appreciate it. I do need an assistant. Maybe you can keep me updated on all the scores and the happenings in the NFL right now. Yep. Whatever I'm involved in, I'm just like head like 10 toes in. I've been kind of isolated, just like game planning. But yeah, tomorrow Seahawks. Let's go Seahawks. Who do you think is going to win that? I know who I want to win that. Obviously the Seahawks, but you think Niners? You think Seahawks? Anybody else out there hanging out? What are your thoughts on the NFL expanding to Europe? I think that's great. I think that different places in the world, if you can open up the NFL market to that, I think that's going to be huge. I know that Canada has a huge NFL fan base, but they do have the CFL, and I know the ELF, the European League of Football, is in Europe right now, but might not have as much momentum as the NFL, to say the least. I don't think any league has as much momentum as the NFL, but I think it's great to expand the NFL to Europe. I think that that's just a fan base waiting to dive their teeth into an amazing franchise. So yeah, go Hawks! I hope that I heard that the XFL and the USFL were merging. Is that correct? I've been trying to talk to people about it, but nobody else has really heard anything about it. But I'm gonna say that that would be a really good move. I think that USFL and XFL should merge, make something happen. Even though I was am a Seattle Dragons fan, we'll see. We'll see now. Who knows if they merge or not? Well, I'll have to talk to my old pal Dwayne the Rock Johnson and see what's up. He's from Canada. Well, he tried out for the CFL. I think. Sorry, that's what's going on. But yeah, NFL expanding to Europe. I love it. I think it's a great idea. And also go Hawks. Yeah, a question about coaching. I love that. Any question about coaching? What is the secret to keeping a cool head in a big situation types of moments? What is the toughest part about it? I think the toughest part about it is that you want to be passionate about what you do, and I'm very passionate. Like I try not to be like in the middle where I'm just like, I'm either just like really angry or like really excited. So here's the trick. You have to take emotion out of it. And I know it's really tough, but when you're in the moment, it's like specifically game times, I take emotion out of it. You don't get too high or don't get too low because when I first started, you put your emotions into it and you're like, oh man, like I can't believe that happened. But then you do something good right away. or you do something good right away and you get all high, and then all of a sudden you guys are behind. So I think when there's a type of sport where momentum shift can be just like second to second, you really need to keep a level head throughout the whole entire game. And that helps with your decision making and helping the process of the game. For example, when you are deciding what players to put in, or when you're helping the OC or the DC like make personnel calls, or when you're scouting fronts, coverages, or blitzes, it doesn't matter what you're doing, or charting. You have to do that job to the best of your ability. And I don't think that you can, I mean, quote me wrong, but if you're really getting too high or too low on yourself, like if you're throwing your headset, or if you're getting down on a player, because he's going to still have to go back out there and make another move and make another decision, and if it's looming over his head that you don't believe in him, I think it comes down to belief and excitement. And I was definitely one of those players where I felt my coaches didn't believe in me because I'd messed something up. And like, it's inevitable, athletes mess something up, but there wasn't a correction. Instead, it was, you're not worthy now to play. And whether I think I was looking for more, how do I correct what happened? So, yeah, I think that's the way I go about it. Yeah, I would say the cooler heads prevail. And I got to see that at the highest level possible. I got to see Pete Carroll do that. And when you see somebody such as that coaching in games like that with a cool head, and you're on the headset with him listening to everything that he's saying about the players, or the coaches or whatever, it's awesome to hear his stance and how he views the game and how calm he is. Even though he gets excited, but he never gets down on anybody, and he's never negative, which I thought was such a refreshing frame of mind. And that's one way to coach. That's totally cool. That works for him and his personality. I thought that was really awesome to see. Awesome. Excited. Yeah, it's exciting to kind of talk about this kind of stuff and put it out there and share experiences and everything that I've been through. So it's exciting. It's very, very exciting. For sure. For sure. Yeah. We have any more questions before our guest comes in? I'm excited. Excited to show her off. We'll see. She should be coming in just a little bit. Our guest just about to come in. I'm very excited, and I'm excited for you guys to prep any questions that you have. Ambra Marcucci is coming in, pro football player. Yes, you're welcome for the tips. PhD, coach, so many things. Very excited. Well, let you ask her all the questions, and she's going to tell us more about herself. We follow each other on Instagram, so I'm excited to talk with her today, letting her come in. Hey,
Hey,
how are you doing?
good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. I was just telling them a little bit about you, but let me let you tell the audience a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Ambra Marcucci. I'm 31 years old. I'm half Italian, half Dutch. I was born and raised in the Netherlands. So what do you want to know about my athletic career? Like, should I just start? Yes. Okay. So,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about your athletic career, because it's. I feel like you do so much, from being an athlete to coach to PhD. So there's just so much to talk about. But like, let's talk athletics first.
okay, yes. So I actually come from soccer. My dad was a professional soccer player, so I was raised with soccer also because Europe is all about soccer, not necessarily about football. So I started playing soccer when I was 12 years old. Started playing with the boys too, and I actually was on my way to the national team. And when I was 17, I tore my ACL. And then when I was 19, again, like my other knee. So that was a critical period for me to get injured. So I kind of stopped playing soccer. And in the meantime, I moved to Portugal for my studies, and there I got in touch with American football. I had some friends that were playing football; they were men, And so they basically wanted to start the first female flag football team in Portugal. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll go to the tryouts and I'll help you guys out. You know, it was new for me. But when I got there, I was like, okay, so when do we start tackling? Like, how does this work? And they were like, no, no, this is flag football. I was like, oh, what is this? I was a little bit disappointed. But then, so I actually fell in love with flag football. I played for like 1 year and a half in Portugal. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I actually want to start playing the real tackle football. So I founded the first female football team in Portugal. Yeah, that was really fun. It was hard though because I felt like it was hard to recruit girls. It was a whole new thing, and I felt like the mentality wasn't really. I mean, in Portugal, I didn't feel like there was a lot of people interested in playing. So I tried with my team. Like I built this little team. We played abroad because in Portugal we were the only ones. But then I kind of had to let that go. I stayed in Portugal for like 8 years to finish my PhD as well. So it was a long time in Portugal. And then around COVID, I decided to move to Italy because they have like half of my family lives there. And there I got recruited by the national team of tackle for in Italy. And recently, like 2 years ago, for the flag football team, the national flag football team. So since then, I've just been in Italy and playing international tournaments with the national team, but also by myself. Like I really like to just go and travel and play with a team and just go out there and experience as much football as I can. And so in 2022, which was last year, I got picked up by a team from the WFA. It's Women's Football Alliance. It's the longest, like the biggest female football league in the world. And they have three divisions. The first one is the pro division, they call it, the second division, and they have like a third division where teams can just develop and grow. And so this one was in the pro league. So for me, that was pretty awesome. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I want to take this opportunity. So yeah, I played my first season in the WFA with the Nevada Storm team from Reno. Was a very successful season for me. I got chosen for the All American team, so I was like, I was overwhelmed. I was like, "What is this? Is a lot. This is amazing." So that went very well. And this year, I played in LA with the Kelly War team, still the Women's Football Alliance Pro League. But in the fourth game, I tore my Achilles tendon, so I am dealing with that. Yes. So, yeah, that was actually this season. In the meantime, yeah, I do coaching too, but I'm more involved with like coaching kids and underprivileged kids. So, my very good friend Fuzia Madhuni, you probably know her too. Yes, she is very much involved in doing programs for kids in her country, in Morocco, to kind of get them off the streets, but also teach them flag football and give them like free classes in English and French. So she built this academy. It's called the We Can Academy in Morocco, in Rabat. And I was the head coach for a couple of months there. So when she built that academy, I was there with her and I was teaching the kids. And it's such a good experience. It's really, really makes my heart full to see these kids having fun, learning something, and having a goal. So I once in a while I go back to Morocco when there's a camp for the kids or for the girls, and Fuzia always asks me to come over and just teach them stuff. And also with my background in psychology, I really like that because my PhD was in psychology. Yes, so it's a nice little mix, sports, psychology. I just really, really enjoy all of it. So yeah, that's probably my athletic career till now in a nutshell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so much to unpack. I think one of the things is that I think women's football is just so tiny. Like for example, we know each other, and I know some of the people you were talking about. Like everybody knows each other, which is awesome. So the culture is
Yeah.
there, and I'm excited for the future of what's all to happen. You said you're dealing with an injury right now, and I know tons of athletes that they're always dealing with injuries. How do you kind of keep that momentum going? Because I feel like you're still passionate about everything else that you're doing. So how do you kind of turn that into other things like coaching or bringing that into, okay, well, I'm going to get better and I'm going to do the next thing coming up. So how do you kind of deal with that?
Okay, so in general, I'm a pretty positive and optimistic person, also because I already had to deal with injuries when I was younger. But I always think that there is something you can do. I mean, I cannot be there on the field, but I can be there cheering my teammates on, or I can be coaching kids. I can always do something. I mean, I'm missing like my Achilles right now. It's not well, but I still have a lot of other limbs. I can still do stuff, you know? So I'm trying to just keep myself busy with other things than that. I'm actually rebuilding my strength now. So I'm like 5 months, it's been 5 months ago since I had surgery. So I'm like rebuilding my muscle, like strength. So it's definitely going better, but I'm a little bit afraid when I think about going back to tackle football. I'm like, ugh. I will be 32 at the end of this year. So I'm like, I'm not the youngest anymore. But still, like, I just want to be an athlete as long as I can, you know? So, but I do a lot of mental work. Like, I read a lot of mental, like, motivational books, podcasts, and that really helps me, and also just being surrounded by the right people. It's just, it makes a big difference. Besides that, I'm just very busy with my work. So everything around football it doesn't give me any money, obviously. It's all like voluntarily, and because I love it, it's a passion. But in my, like when I work, I am a FIFA agent. So I help athletes in sports, but mostly in soccer with deals. So because I have my background in soccer, it was much easier for me to do that actually. So that's what I do. And I'm also a board member of the Dutch Football Federation. So I'm trying to keep myself busy with a lot of things. Yes, so I'm really much involved in growing the game everywhere that I can. But at the same time, I'm also very much involved in soccer as an agent. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it's really hard to just sit there and feel sad about this injury. I just have so many other things to work on and so many other exciting things that are happening. So, I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, no, that I everything you're saying is so interesting, and it's cool that you're on this platform as well. And I know that you have some merch. So how about you tell us about all the merch that you have on here and what's going on with that?
Yes. So I have this little slogan. It's catch the dream, run the speed. It
Mhm.
really comes from, catching. It's like I'm a wide receiver, catching the ball, running the speed, but also at the same time, like just follow your dreams and just run, just go after your dreams. So I have this slogan on hoodies and t-shirts. And then I have for the holidays something more special. It's like a signed football. So there's quite some things on my profile that people can see and can buy. It's really nice. Like the Millions team did a great job with designing everything, and I'm very happy about it. It's all like pretty new for me. I've just been on the platform for a couple of months, but I'm so excited about everything, and yeah, it's just great.
What would be like the number one thing you suggest people get?
Ooh, okay. That's hard. I mean, for the holidays, probably the signed ball because it's pretty exclusive.
Yeah.
Um, Yes, but I also really like my little slogan. So if you want like a hat or like a little shirt, sweatshirt, they're really cool. Like it's tiny. It's not even like that big. It's like something you can wear with everything. So I think it's cool.
That I understand that so much. I like that, like just wearing it for swag, right? It doesn't have to be this huge logo. It's you, right? You designed it, you're excited about it, and that's exactly what you're about, right?
Yes, totally. That's it. Yes, I would be happy if anybody would just, wear my swag. That would be great.
The sign ball, I think that's going to be really good for the holidays coming up. So I'm really excited about that. So we have a few minutes left here. Can you leave us with a message for anybody out there that maybe is looking to do as much stuff as you've done, right? And maybe even speaking to some of the young ladies out there that are looking to get into football or sport in general, what would you say to them?
Okay, so just if you like something, like don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do it or you're not good enough or there's more important stuff out there. Like if you go after something that you want, you will get it. Like I see it with me. Like I have a very stubborn, but also a very focused mentality. And everything that I always wanted in my life, I always reached it because I didn't give up. I just kept on going until I got that because that's what I wanted. And I really believe in that. Like if you put something out there in the universe, it will come back to you. So whatever your dreams are, your goals are, whatever you want to do, if you want to be in football, just chase that dream because anything is possible. Like just look at me. Like I discovered football late. I was probably like 25 and I'm almost 32 now and I had so many opportunities still there just because I wanted it and I just took every opportunity that was given to me. I took every single opportunity, you know? So just keep chasing your dreams. I mean, catch the dream, run the speed, right?
I love that. I love that. No, it's very true, right? Just taking those opportunities. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people sometimes are fearful because with
Yes.
taking an opportunity always comes with sacrificing something.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But
Whether that, yeah,
yes, and it's this fear of failure that nowadays is so huge. Like people are so afraid to fail. And I think that it's way more important to not be afraid to fail than just wanting to be successful. You know, so if you just take the fear away, it's gonna be so much easier for yourself, you know? So just don't give up and just keep believing in yourself. I mean, it sounds cliche, but it really works. It really works. And I also think visualization really helps. I do it a lot, like probably a couple of times a week before going to bed. Just visualize what I want, and it really works. I mean, you have to believe in it, of course, and you have to work for your stuff. It will not just come to you, but it helps you to give the universe a little extra, like to show what you want. You know. Maybe it sounds a bit strange, but for me, it really works well.
that's something that I've heard so much about. And with your psychology background, that's exciting to hear that you think it's worthwhile because I've always thought it's something worthwhile as an athlete. And
Yes,
if you're trying to set goals with yourself in life, visualization is so huge. So I'm glad you mentioned that today.
that is so true. Yeah, I mean, your system has to see it, right? You have to really feel it, see it, smell it, you know? So then it will just come to you. I mean, believe me, just give it a try. Whoever's watching, give it a try.
And just speaking like you had gotten to football later in life, I'm the same way. Here's the thing, I just felt like when I was younger, I couldn't see it because there was no women representing us playing, coaching in the trainers yet. But now it's there. It's because individuals like you and me are at the forefront of making it possible, but we had to visualize it. So I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, and it's about like, and if there is no opportunities, you have to create them. And that's what I did. I was like, okay, there's no team. I'll create a team. You know, I have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have just start somewhere. That's also like a very big message. I mean, even if you don't see it, just start somewhere, even if it's just small. And those small steps will take you to this bigger goal. You don't need to like reach that big goal in one time. There's just these little steps that matter even more, actually. So, and then you just got to be persistent with what you want. But you have to have this goal in mind. You just have to figure out the little steps towards it. So,
Exactly. No, I like that you said that. And with your background, your education, and you putting a stamp on we need to visualize stuff in our future. I think that that's so great and a good message for everybody and anybody watching. So I'm excited about that. And I'm really excited about your merch. I think everybody should get the signed football. I think that's going to
yeah.
be one of the hugest things for the holidays here. How are you spending the holidays this season?
Actually, I'm in Dallas right now. I'm spending the holidays with my good friend here. So yeah, it's new. Like normally I am in Italy and we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So it's the first time for me celebrating Thanksgiving in America. So tomorrow we're gonna go to the Cowboys game. It's gonna be very exciting.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Well, have fun at the Cowboys game, and we were so excited to have you here. And we will let you go for tonight, but thank you. We will have you back again.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you. See you
Bye
soon.
for now. Awesome. Well, an amazing guest here. We got another amazing guest lined up here, ready to rock and roll. I'm so excited to bring him in. Should it be a secret? No, I think that we should bring him in whenever he's ready. Let's see if we can get him in, get him rolling. I'm excited. That was such a good conversation to have. And everybody listening, there was tons of takeaways from that. And I'm so excited about everything that she spoke about and all the education and background in sport that she had. So if you were listening out there, just take some notes and make sure visualization is huge on your docket, right? If you're doing that, then you are ready to rock and roll, ready to rock and roll. Of course. Well, we will get our next guest rocking and rolling in here right away. And if anybody has any questions for him, I'm excited to get it going here. So we will get them in right away. Let's get him going here. We don't. Oh, I will give you an introduction. We will get you an introduction going and rocking and rolling here right away. I hope everyone's having a really good night. So we will have you guys ask any questions that you want and make sure you guys put any questions in there. Any questions for me right now before we get our guest? Any questions for me? Frank, are you still rocking and rolling with us tonight? Still hanging on there, still hanging out. I can't wait for the Seahawks game tomorrow. Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, while we're waiting for our next guest, I guess I can talk about my merchandise. So I am a running backs coach. So really exciting. So my merchandise is run the ball. So I actually have t-shirts, joggers, hats. So it says run the ball. It's kind of small. It's right here on the crest. I usually wear my run the ball merch. I just didn't have it tonight because I wear it all the time. So I didn't have it, and hoodies. So I really, really like the Run the Ball hoodie. I like Run the Ball shirt, anything that we have on there. Okay, so our guest is coming in, rolling in. We're going to get them up on here right away. And we are excited for this guest. Any other questions? Yeah, so about my merch, I do have that sweater and that shirt. And if you check it out, it comes in different colors. I like the black. I'm kind of that person. I wear a lot of black clothing and kind of goes with everything. So I'm really a sporty person. So I'll wear the t-shirt all over the place. I really like the material and feel of the t-shirt. It makes for a good t-shirt. I really like it. It's one of my favorites for sure. All right. Well, yeah, if you want to go check that out, and hopefully I will get some more or get something else. Something that I make as well, I make football notebooks for coaches or athletes. And it's anything like you can draw plays in there. So there's like half field diagrams for field drawings, or if you want to draw up any plays, formations, anything. Perfect. So we got our guest coming in, rolling in. How are
I'm
you?
good. How you doing?
Good. I'm so excited to have you here today. I'm excited for you to tell us about yourself because you are a former NFL running back. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's correct.
And I am a running backs coach. So running back, well,
Nice,
I used to play running back, but now I coach
nice.
the running backs in the
Oh,
NCAA. So I'm really
oh,
excited to talk to you when I saw you were coming on. But you can
awesome.
explain to everybody everything about yourself.
Oh, okay. So where should I start?
From the top. Start in
Oh,
athletics. Yeah, start from the NFL.
okay. Yeah. So I got drafted into the NFL in 1998. I was a third round draft pick, the 76th pick overall to the Seattle Seahawks. And so they gave me my opportunity. I knew I could play at the next level because I played at the University of Nebraska at the time. We had a very, very good team. We hold a lot of records still standing today for the stuff we did on our, as a whole team winning championships, the yardage offensively and defensively, points that we didn't give up at all. So playing against those guys where a lot of my teammates would get drafted in the first, second round. So I knew that if I'm practicing against guys that are getting drafted in the first round, second round, third round up to the NFL, and then once they get there, they're doing pretty good. So I'm like, I think I'm ready. My freshman year, knowing that was the talent that I was practicing against every day, for that whole season. And so when I got to Seattle, I was, like I said, third round pick. So it wasn't the pick that I thought I was going to be, and it wasn't the pick I was told as well. I was actually told, and I think the draft committee, or I guess prognosticators for draft players getting drafted back then, wasn't quite accurate, because they had me. They told me at first, before I decided to go pro, that I would be projected as a late first round, early second round pick, and obviously that didn't happen. I was mid third round pick, and so that created a big chip on my shoulder. I mean, I wasn't a guy that needed that. I was already highly motivated once I got to my job, and I learned that what my task had to be, obviously play running back or special teams or wherever the team needed me to play. But with me going a little bit later than what I was told, that just put a bigger chip on my shoulder to go out to prove it to everybody that I was an NFL caliber running back. And so once I got my opportunity, I mean, I played a lot of special teams my rookie year in Seattle, and I just knew, that's what I got to do for now. I got to play kickoff return. I got to do punt return, or field goal block, whatever, block for the return guy, do whatever I need to do to be on the team, be a team player first. I learned that as a kid. And then, after a while, the coaches eventually take notice of putting me in certain positions. That's where I need to be, being in the backfield, being on the offensive side of the ball, starting, or just getting carries, splitting time with the starting running back. And by mid-season of my rookie year, that's what happened. I started to get the third down package. I was a third down running back, and I think I did it to a point within a couple games. Like a month went by when I was doing it. I think I led the league in third down conversions as a running back in short yardage situations. And so that's the part I definitely was happy that I got accomplished that. And I say that showed the coaches what I can do and how valuable I could be, to the roster. And so second year came in ready to go and was able to play well. Training camp started a little slow. I had a strained quad coming into training camp, so I didn't play a whole lot in preseason ball that year. But then once the regular season got going, things started off where it left off for my rookie year, getting a lot of time on the offensive side of the ball. I was backing up Ricky Waters at the time, a great running back, had played in the NFL more than 10 years, Super Bowl champion as well. And so he was a guy that, helped me get better, understanding, what it looks like to be a pro, watching him for examples. And then once I got my time to run and do whatever, I try to do what I did when I was in college and what I did when I was in high school, Little League, go out there and have fun and be the athlete that the Seahawks drafted, what they saw on film, try to bring them that same product. And so great season, my second year. And then thinking, we had actually a new coaching staff come in that second year was Mike Holmgren. He came from the Green Bay Packers. He had come off being at the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, won one, lost one. And then in 99, he was our coach. Like I said, got in quite a bit of time on the offensive side of the ball. And then the season ended. We actually made it to the playoffs, and Seahawks at that time had not been to the playoffs in a while. So it was a big accomplishment for us as a team. And I had my year-end meeting with Coach Holmgren, and he mentioned how well I developed through the year and how I learned the playbook, how I got better at understanding the verbiage of the West Coast offense. So I was super excited to hear that from him. And then he said, well, if you continue to progress, you can give Ricky a push for the starting job. And that's all I needed to hear, is that type of, that comment right there, because then that gives me the confidence to continue to do it. That means everything I was doing was right. Keep studying, staying in shape, being positive, being a team player. And then a few months after that, I get traded to Green Bay. And I become a Green Bay Packer, and I'm like, I had no idea it was coming, because like I said, I'm getting ready to become going my third year with the Seahawks, and then I become a Packer. And so from that point on, when I got traded, the only thing that bothered me about the trade wasn't even the trade itself. It was the fact that I was going back to the Midwest because I was trying to get out of the cold weather. And I was like, no, no more snow, but it came
Yeah.
back. So I'm like, all right. I says I can't avoid the snow. I guess I'm gonna love it and get used to running in it again like I did in college. And so I did. It was not a big adjustment to get back used to the cold weather. The guys on that team were fantastic because they had been on 2 previous Super Bowl teams, and so they understood how a player could come in, or if they need a player to come in and help out, and how to help him get better. And so they did. They opened the doors, arms wide open, brought me in like I was drafted there. Dorsey Levens, Gilbert Brown, Brett Favre, Mike Flanagan, Mike Wall, Mark Tauscher, Chad. I say Mark and Chad actually came in when I came in. They were rookies that year in 2000, so we all got there at the same time. But still, those veterans, Leroy Butler, they knew what a lot of us could do when come training camp and come to end the training camp, and then. Then that's when I got my career going. That year in 2000, I rushed for my first 1,000 yards, backing up Dorsey. He had got a MCL sprain mid-season, and then I backed him up for a few games, and that's literally what I said. Every time I took an interview after a game, win or lose, I said, "Yeah, I'm just backing up Dorsey. I'm being a team player right now. This is my role, and he's not going to lose his job in my head as a starting job. He's the starting running back until a coach says otherwise." And then it did come to fruition a couple of weeks after that, where Coach Sherman made a decision to make me the full-time starter. And that was the time. From that moment on, I was ready to play because I was ready to prove myself from that first year being drafted in the 3rd round. And a lot of naysayers saying, that he's a typical Nebraska back. He can't do a lot of things that NFL teams want a running back to do, but I knew I could do that. I mean, I was a talented athlete as a kid. I played football, baseball, basketball. I ran track, power lifted, played volleyballs, rode bikes, did everything that a kid could do to become very athletic and not be afraid to do and try different things. And so I think that's where they missed out on. I say that's where a lot of NFL scouts, including the Packers, including the Seahawks, obviously, a couple of times because they didn't draft me to the 3rd round. A lot of NFL scouts kind of passed on finding out how talented I was and how dynamic and what I could do when I got opportunity to play. And so Green Bay found that out, and then the NFL found that out in 2000 and the years after that.
Awesome. Just so much stuff to unpack. I like that you said you added value by doing special teams. And I think that's sometimes some of the athletes are like, I don't want to do special teams.
Yeah.
Especially running backs. If they think they're too good for special teams, you just went in there and you proved your worth through that. I commend you because that is a hard nut to crack sometimes, like telling athletes like you need to do specials and they're like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just commend you for that because just even that's just like you going in there and saying, what can I do? And you getting that opportunity at Green Bay just to like showcase your talents finally is just so amazing to hear that journey, because most people would just say, oh, they're not giving me a chance, I'm going to give up. But that wasn't you. That wasn't you at all.
No, I'm not built that way. I'm not built. I'm built different. It started, and that part of me started when I was a kid. My mom and dad, the way they raised me, my brothers, my 2 older brothers, older sister, who's the oldest out of all of us, helped raise me as well. And then family and friends in the neighborhood I grew up here in Omaha, Nebraska. And then I grew up also in Los Angeles, California from probably age 4 to 14, 15 or 13, 14 till we moved back to Nebraska. And, between my mom and dad, it was all I needed for obviously being well-rounded individual, being shown things that I need to know about growing up, accountability, respect, responsibility, hard work, hitting the books, staying out of trouble was all through them. And my brothers every now and then will reinforce things by teaching me things or showing me things, telling me things like, hey, if you're going to be a running back, we want you to watch this dude right here. And I think eventually I found a video or something on TV of Walter Payton and watched him run the football, Yeah. So it's probably your guy too. And so when I saw that, and I had been watching other football players like Marcus Allen and Eric Dickerson and Bo Jackson, and I'm like, So all of them had dynamic and amazing ability, all different. Barry Sanders included was just all very dynamic players, but all excelled at a high level, all Hall of Famers, guys that, when people talk about them, if you're in the same sentence as those players, that means you've done something different. Done something different and special. And I've been in that conversation. I've been in a sentence mentioned with all those guys because that's who I looked up to. I looked up to my parents, but then from a football sense, to have a little football motivation, I looked at those guys because I watched them on the TV, and I watched Bo Jackson just run people over and then outrun everybody. I watched Walter Payton just look like he's like just a jackhammer through a defense where you think he's stopping, he's not. Barry Sanders, I don't think I've ever seen him take a hard hit and of anybody on defense. I think he juked literally everything, and I wish I had a little bit more of that. I had some of it, but not all of it. But those are kind of like my benchmarks, because then I said, okay, if I could play just half as good as they can, then I know I'm doing something right on the football field and in life, baseball, basketball, other sports too, because it takes hard work, it takes dedication, and then you got to have a mindset that you're not going to quit. Like you mentioned, you're not going to have you got to basically, my legs got to get cut off, or I got to break every bone in my body for me to not do something on this football field or baseball field or basketball court. You basically got to knock me out of commission before I quit. I'm never going to quit. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to play hard. Even if I'm losing, I'm going to play like we're up by 40 when I'm down by 40. I'm going to hit you hard. You won't know the difference of playing against myself. And I've been on teams like that. My high school team was like that, where if we were losing a game, no team could know the difference. We were still playing hard. It was 4 quarters all day, all the time.
My goodness, I feel like you are the definition of what I'm telling my running back group about. It's just the no quit attitude. It's the compete. And I actually, I got to do my Bill Walsh with the Seahawks last year. So I was an assistant running back coach. And Pete Carroll was all about always compete.
Yep.
And there's something special about that Seahawks culture. And I'm glad that I got to experience it. But I know that you could probably even speak on the Seahawks culture compared to the Green Bay Packers. But let's also get into your merch and what you're selling here on Millions, because I'm excited about that. So let's talk about that for a second.
Oh man, I got a lot of cool stuff on merch. On Millions for merch.
Yeah.
I do. Let's see what I know is, okay, I do 3 podcasts: Green and Go G Lounge, Amon Green's Gamers Lounge, and On My Block podcast, which I'm fortunate I haven't been able to catch an episode because I've been teaching class at the same time. So Mike Wall is holding down the ship. I know he's doing a good job running the show, but we do have merch on there. And so we have On My Block Gamers Lounge, Green and Go G Lounge, and Amon Green's Gamers Lounge hats, T-shirts, and hoodies. And if I would have known be smarter, I would have wore something so you could see it. But next time I'm on stream, I will be all ready for that. I do have a Green and Go T-shirt. I have a couple of the Green and Go T-shirts and a sweatpants that came with it last time. When everything officially came out, they sent me a package of stuff. But it's stuff out there that, if you're a fan of those shows that I do, there you go. There's some little memorabilia. There's a fandom right there, so you could have that T-shirt walking around and probably surprise a lot of people. Be like, "Oh, Amon Green got a talk show? He got a pod? He does what? Yeah, I got too many talk shows. I technically, so those 3. So and then I just started a new one on a radio show in Lincoln, Nebraska, called the Amon Green Show, where I'm just literally talking about whatever I want to talk about. Currently, Nebraska football, because it's football season. The volleyball girls, ladies for Nebraska volleyball, they're ranked number 1 in the country. They just won the Big Ten title, and they have a few games to go. They have Wisconsin on Friday at 3 p.m. to finish out their regular season, and then they'll gear up for the volleyball playoffs, or I say bracket, for their another type of a championship run there. So I talk about my teams that I'm coaching with esports. I'm the director of esports and head coach at University of Nebraska. I started at University of Lakeland in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and then in the last few years, last year, I was asked to come down to Lincoln, where I used to play football and go to school, and I couldn't turn that down. This is just an opportunity and something I've been thinking about a long time, dreaming about, just stepping on the wall to get in here, to get into Lincoln, to coach at anything. And it was football in the beginning, but it came down to be esports. And I said, you know what, just like anything, I'm going to take it. I'm a team player and to do my job as an esports coach, because another passion of mine is competing. And esports, video games has that platform where young kids can compete in the virtual world, but it's all the same as the traditional side of it. You still have to show up to practice. You still have to work hard. You still have to work with your teammates and work with your coaches, and be coachable as a really good player, because that's all I'm going to do is make you better.
I'm there's so much stuff that you're doing, and I'm really excited for all of that. The esport world is just blowing up right now, so I'm so excited that you're part of that, and you can be foster that initiative for young kids trying to get into that. So thank you so much. Somebody actually said they're eyeing up your signed football.
Yeah, well,
so that's exciting.
Or either they got it or they seen it somewhere. No problem.
Might be on the merch. Might be on the merch there.
Oh
But
yeah, for
thank
sure.
you so much for talking with me.
Mm-hmm.
You've just given me life. You pumped lifeblood into me. We are heading off to our second round of playoffs here at Central Washington. So we will keep you in mind. I'll channel you into all the running backs, and we will run hard just like you did all those years. Well, thank you so much for that, and we will let you go for now. And I cannot wait to follow your journey. My goodness.
Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you. I'll keep tabs on you as well. So you're at Central Washington?
Central Washington. Yep.
Okay. All right. Yep. I remember. I know that. I lived there for 2 years, so I know the state pretty well. Oh,
no
yeah.
way. All right. Sounds very good. Well, then we have that in common, and I'm excited that we got to connect on this respect, and we will have you again, right? I'm going to be hosting these every single month, so we got to sell some merch.
Oh yeah, we got to get that part of this business up going, having some fun with fans.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming by, and we'll let you go for now.
All right. See you later, Amanda.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. That was an amazing episode, and we will be doing this next month as well. So make sure you guys tune in. We will have different guests. We'll have some more fun. But thanks for hanging out for now, and see you guys a little bit later.